In the 1880s, the light bulb wasn't just a marvel, it was a weapon. The glowing filament, a symbol of progress, also illuminated a dark underbelly of human ambition and deceit. What many don't realize is that the very dawn of electric light was riddled with a sophisticated, widespread fraud, threatening to extinguish public trust before it truly ignited. This wasn't just about a few shoddy imitations. This was an orchestrated campaign of industrial espionage, patent infringement, and outright deception, aiming to capitalize on the public's insatiable hunger for this new, revolutionary technology. Thomas Edison, the Wizard of Menlo Park, had achieved what many thought impossible: a practical, long-lasting, incandescent light bulb. His patent, granted in 1880, was meant to protect his invention, yet it became a magnet for those seeking to profit without the toil of innovation. The promise of endless light, pushing back the night, was too lucrative to ignore. Companies, both legitimate and dubious, sprang up like mushrooms after a rain, all vying for a slice of this burgeoning market. But some weren't content with honest competition. The core of Edison's invention lay in its high-resistance filament, a thin carbonized bamboo fiber encased in a vacuum. This specific combination allowed for a practical, efficient bulb that could last for hundreds of hours, a stark contrast to earlier, short-lived prototypes. However, producing these bulbs was complex and expensive. It required precision engineering, skilled labor, and significant investment. This reality presented an irresistible opportunity for fraudsters: create cheaper, inferior bulbs, market them as Edison's, and undercut his prices. The methods employed by these counterfeiters were varied, but all aimed at exploiting the public's lack of technical understanding. Many bogus bulbs used thicker, less efficient filaments or had inadequate vacuums, leading to drastically shorter lifespans and poor light quality. Imagine a new factory, gleaming with promise, installing what they believed to be state-of-the-art Edison lamps, only to find them burning out within hours or days. The cost in replacement, reputation, and sheer frustration was immense. One of the most brazen perpetrators was the United States Electric Lighting Company, founded by Hiram Maxim, a brilliant inventor in his own right, but also a fierce rival of Edison's. Maxim's company produced bulbs that, to the untrained eye, looked remarkably similar. Edison's response was swift and uncompromising: litigation. He understood that his patents were the bedrock of his empire, and any infringement had to be met with the full force of the law. The legal battles that ensued became legendary, spanning years and consuming vast resources. The Edison Electric Light Company, established in 1878, poured millions into these patent wars. They employed detectives to uncover the origins of the bogus bulbs, gathering evidence of manufacturing processes and sales networks. These legal skirmishes weren't just about financial damages. They were about defining the future of an entire industry. If Edison couldn't protect his intellectual property, what incentive would there be for anyone to invest in groundbreaking research? The courts often struggled with the technical intricacies of the incandescent lamp. Expert witnesses debated the definition of a high-resistance carbon filament and the nuances of vacuum technology. It was a legal education for judges and juries alike. One key case involved the United States Electric Lighting Company challenging Edison's fundamental patent on the carbon filament. The legal arguments were fierce, with both sides presenting compelling, albeit often conflicting, evidence. Ultimately, in 1889, after years of appeals and counter-appeals, the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals upheld Edison's primary patent. This was a monumental victory, confirming his ownership of the essential elements of the practical light bulb. This ruling didn't immediately end the fraud, but it significantly curtailed it. It sent a clear message that patent infringement would not be tolerated, forcing many smaller, less capitalized counterfeiters out of business. However, the battle against bogus bulbs continued in different forms. Some companies simply shifted their operations overseas, where patent laws were weaker or enforcement was lax. Others sought to innovate just enough to circumvent the letter of the law. The public, too, became more discerning. As electric light became more common, consumers learned to differentiate between a quality Edison bulb and a cheap imitation that would quickly burn out. Word of mouth and bitter experience served as powerful educators. This era highlights a fundamental tension: the drive for innovation versus the allure of quick profit through imitation. It's a dynamic that echoes through history, from ancient forgeries to modern digital scams. The great incandescent lamp fraud wasn't just a footnote in Edison's biography. It was a crucible that forged the very framework of intellectual property law, demonstrating the critical need to protect inventors and their creations. It also served as a stark reminder of human nature's darker side: the willingness to deceive for financial gain, even when it threatens to undermine trust in groundbreaking advancements. The battle for authentic light was, in many ways, a battle for integrity itself. The next time you flip a switch, consider not just the genius of the inventor, but the unseen battles fought to protect that genius from those who would exploit it. The light we enjoy today is built on a foundation of both brilliance and relentless vigilance. Explore the shadowy archives of frauds passed with us in our next investigation.